Welcome back to another session. Today, I'd like to talk about daily routines. Um, what works for you, what doesn't work. And while we're waiting for Martin to come on, um, I just want to find out what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Um, yeah, let's see how we're gonna do today. I am
Hello,
excited. Hey,
hello.
Martin. Hey,
I'm doing well. How are
I
you?
tell you, I'm doing well. I was just saying I had to hurry up and get on here, and then I was on, and didn't get a chance to uh, send you a text or anything. But I'm glad you came on.
Yeah,
How are you? What's it doing out there?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Thank you. Yeah, I'm out here in the West Coast, the Pacific Zone. It's sunny. It's still a little chilly, but the sun makes it kind of so much better. So yeah, I'm excited to jump in. I know it's kind of different time during the day, kind of middle of the
Yeah.
day. There's so much going on, and I know our last conversation, we got some great feedback on some tips of how to kind of end their night, start their day. And now it's kind of like, well, now it's noon, it's 2 o'clock. I'm getting that crash now. What do I do? I'm kind of hungry. Do I eat? Do I not eat? So many questions. But thanks for having me on. I'm glad to jump on and get some more talk and information from you as well. How's your day going?
It's okay. All of a sudden, it got hectic at the last minute. So, can't complain. I've been productive. And I'm just moving on. And of course, tonight is the podcast. So, a lot going
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
And yeah, but then I was just thinking about how we can connect with the audience. Is everything going okay with you? You have a little bit of time?
Yeah, no, excellent. I have a little bit of time now. I just wanted to talk about, personally, just for me, some ideas now as you go throughout the day is kind of, what are some foods, some kind of meals that I can implement in my day to kind of help me recover from a long morning, but also give me that boost that I need for the next 5, 6 hours with work or family or travel or whatever it is from there. So I've got my personal favorites that I kind of bank on as well. I'd love to discuss. I mean, I remember last time there was some that the audience had picked up on that after I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. I'm gonna go pick up. So I actually went picked up some pineapples this weekend and load up on a couple pineapples as well. So yeah, I'm excited to talk about a little more now about kind of lunch and kind of the idea of feeding yourself for your lifestyle, for what to be expected in front of you, not what's the fastest thing that I can eat in front of me. So if you know you have a kind of a longer day, kind of what foods to have in mind, or if you know you're gonna have kind of a not so busy next couple hours, what to kind of eat as well. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Well, good. Same here because I was thinking, like with the snow and everything, um, I'm. I guess I got complacent, lazy, because I didn't go to the store, and I have certain things that I really like
Mm,
and things that I keep. But because I eat mostly fruits and vegetables, they kind of went bad. So I didn't have anything to make my famous wraps or turkey wraps, ground turkey wraps. So today I'm not having anything wonderful, but tomorrow I'm definitely gonna stock up on my favorite fruits and vegetables.
there you go. There you
Cause
go. Yeah,
yeah,
I
it,
think
it, it it's different.
yeah, it does make a difference. I think once you have to incorporate, hey, I can't even literally get out of my house to go get groceries, it does become a little difficult in terms of kind of what foods that kind of last longer, because you're not going to be able to go to the grocery the next day as well. So there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it as well. So I hope you're doing well and staying warm in the cold weather. I got out of the cold weather. I'm done with that. So I'm not complaining.
So a lot of people say that. I think about it, but then I kind of like all the seasons.
That's the
My
thing,
favorite,
yeah.
yeah, is fall. I love fall, and I love the spring.
Mm.
So if I can't feel the difference, it's kind of like the alpha and the omega, the beginning and the end, and that's what I like. I like when the flowers start to come, but I also like fall because things die off and it's just a good, crisp, fresh air. That's what I like about it.
Yeah, nice. No, I agree. Yeah, no, it's I'm kind of getting that all year around, so I'm not gonna be too uh uh as they say, cocky in it because I don't want to bring the cold weather with me. So karma's real. I'm gonna keep at bay. I'll just keep enjoying it, keep my mouth shut, and go to the next day. So, did you want to speak a little bit about your ideas for lunch? I mean, I certainly have my couple that I wanted to kind of shoot for in terms of my top four to kind of look for, and then kind of top four to kind of avoid as well, and then we can kind of go from there.
Well, I tell you, go ahead since you are um, specific and able to start let's just go ahead and have you start the
Awesome.
conversation, and then I will
Okay.
add my little
No
cent.
worries.
So yeah,
Yeah, excellent. So yeah, the first one that I have is one thing that I've really recently seen with my body is that just flour and enriched white flour does not do my body any well. And
right,
once I've cut that out of my diet, I've seen a significant difference, not just in weight, but I've just seen different joints are feeling a little more loose. My stomach is digesting food a lot easier. So the first thing that I've seen, and I'm not trying to promote any brands here, but just a flourless bread in terms of whatever you're eating. If it's a sandwich, if it's peanut butter and jelly sandwich, if it's a deli sandwich, any type of we like to have our kind of hands on something instead of like a salad or or such forth. A burrito or tacos, that kind of such forth, and the bread. So one thing for me is I look for at lunchtime is Ezekiel bread. I like to have avocado with some Ezekiel bread, and that just gives me the carbohydrates that I need, the energy that I need, but at a longer lasting time and not give me that crash at the end and just make me feel bloated and all of a sudden just make me feel like I have to start moving around. So it gives me that energy that I need at a sufficient rate for a good amount of time. And then I add in some healthy fats from there, whether it's avocado or hummus or even some peanut butter from there, or even adding some fermented vegetables, kimchi, also what is it? I have brain fog, but just fermented sauerkraut as well. I know kind of some people stay away from it. I kind of don't have that every day, but when I know I kind of have a long day, when I know I need to recover and not pig out a little more and stay away from the sweets, those foods kind of help me personally kind of stay fuller for a longer time. And there's a bunch of fiber in there as well that my body obviously I need now, especially being now on the West Coast, that my body actually needs just to, because I'm always kind of in the dry heat, dry weather as well. So for me is just eliminating the flour, getting away from that bread a little bit, but just finding substitutes. So your thoughts on that?
nice. That's really nice. Now, I agree with the Ezekiel bread. However, when you're cooking for different people, everybody's got different tastes.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned the last time, the white bread. Now I'm going to the wheat bread, but I love the whole grain and I love Ezekiel bread. But my favorite is sauteing all of the uh, peppers, like red, yellow, orange. Excuse me. I use very little green pepper, and I make a veggie wrap. And now they have all kinds of wraps,
Mm.
spinach wrap,
Yeah, yeah.
and then every I don't like I keep telling people you don't have to have meat every day. So that looks nice. That
Just
looks
messing
nice.
around with some filter. Let's see which one's gonna get my attention. No, it's messing around. Yeah. No, yeah,
Hey,
the meat is also one that is people rely on it a little, I think, too much sometimes. And every lifestyle is different. You know, every lifestyle is different.
right. Just depends, and that's one thing I tell people. If you're busy out in the field, or if it depends on what type of work you do. Depends on what type of food or energy you need. But for me, being stagnant and working from home a lot, I eat a lot of cucumbers. I mix it with green spinach, uh, just greens. I like the medicine. There's so many different types of mixtures, and I like them all. And of course, the avocados. I think that's how we related because I love avocados. I love guacamole. I love garbanzo beans. Um, and sometimes on my tortilla, I'll use black beans.
Mm,
Um, it's the it's the refried beans, black beans, and a lot of people think that it's fattening, but it's a good protein because if you mix um, rice and beans together, that is your protein.
yeah,
Now, one of
yeah.
my other favorites and one that I usually like for lunch is tabbouleh with onions and lots of peppermint, lots of onions. That's one of my favorites. And I like to mix it with, or like if it's going to be my dinner, then I'll use salmon. But I only eat the sockeye salmon. I'm not one to eat what they call the coon salmon, which is really a uh what am I trying to say? It's pretty much a farm raised. I
Farmers
like
Layers, yeah.
yeah, so I really like sockeye salmon. Uh and I don't know how I got on that kick, but it benefits with the omega 3 and just making healthy choices because like I say, I'm not vegan or since I'm allergic to nuts, I have to be careful. So
Mhm.
that's why I say I eat pretty clean, and I've always been heavy set person. But in the last, I don't know, 35 years, I've kept my weight down, and that's because of healthy
Mm.
choices.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah. My next topic was going along with that in terms of kind of meals that you can put with that. I just love the Ezekiel bread because it's like it's right there. It's a good portion. You can't eat too much of it. You know, it's one or two slices sometimes. But also with what you recommended is also couscous. I really like to go with couscous as well.
Love it.
If I have time to kind of make time for meals and this and that, and I kind of have a little more free time, yeah, couscous is a great substitute as well. You can get those carbs as well, or even different types of rices as well to kind of help get a little nice little portion of rice. Nothing too crazy, old bowl full. Just a nice little palms full is good enough for someone as well. And
Right.
then just along with that is also um, as my second. Those are kind of my ones and twos as carbs. My second is I kind of also like to implement a little more fruit. Uh, uh, at this time of the day, I kind of stay away from fruit unless needed and doing an activity or something later on in the day because I just don't want to build up on that sugar and have it not, I can't use it to get it to use anywhere. So I like to implement a little more fruit. And I did go with some of the picks now. I grabbed a mango, I grabbed some pineapples. So I'm going to load up on a couple of those. So my second is if you can't get the carbs from those sources as well, then I just also get to like the short term energy, kind of get me on my spark as well, is also with the fruit. But there's also like oatmeal. People like to do oatmeal as well, which is a great substitute
Yeah.
to kind of help with their fiber intake as well. And then so my third is this is where it kind of gets we're just you were just hitting on it now in terms of kind of getting those proteins in different ways, and you're going with the kind of the fish, and you did touch on some people relying on meat a little too much, and I do agree. I think the body has to get all as they say the whole source, the full triangle of types of foods for it to be used at its potential, at its fullest. Now that doesn't mean that we're gonna go eat, 3 burgers and 2 pizzas, and hey, I'm getting my portions right, but at the right
Right.
portions, right, and at the right amount. So, like I said, whatever it is, for me, I like to kind of stick on the leaner side, on the lighter side. With guacamole, hummus. I do like to steam vegetables as well. Jackfruit, I've seen, for me, has been an awesome one, where actually when it thins out, it becomes kind of like a tenderloin,
Yeah.
and you just put some barbecue sauce on there, and it looks just like, and it just tastes like pulled pork, or shredded chicken and such forth from there, just depending on what you kind of season with it. But my kind of protein and fiber intake is from those sources as well. So guac, hummus, vegetables, jackfruit as well, beans. I like beans as well.
Yeah.
Black beans, pinto beans, navy beans. All great
Yeah.
sources for fiber intake as well. So that was like kind of my third, in terms of um, kind of, once you get the carb side of it, here's the other kind of fatty side, protein side, fiber side to it as well. And when I say
And
protein, I also
now,
I like to connect protein with fiber as well. I don't just like to just focus on the protein, not forget the fiber. And for me, there's really not no point. I think the fiber is one kind of area that society and people that I've come across are really lack of in, and they're always getting hungry. And I'm like, well, are you eating fulfilling foods? There should be enough fiber in there. And then obviously once they start, cutting down their portions and you start working on it, you eventually get there. But it's not, a quick scheme to kind of figure things out.
I think you're right. And you know what, Martin? That's something we can do. Because I don't think people realize, I know people are eating, but do they really understand the facts, the features, the benefits of the different foods people eat and how to balance? Back in the day, people used to say the different food groups that you need to have so many servings. But I'm wondering, and I think it'll be a good idea for us to break it down, help them to understand what are they eating, what are the benefits, like you said, the jackfruit that you like to eat, and that's part of your protein. Now, I've never had jackfruit with barbecue sauce on it. So, what does that taste like?
Yeah, so I mean, honestly, I usually just got my jackfruit, like the actual fruit, and I would cut it up and thaw it out and do all that whole process. But recently I actually went to Trader Joe's, and they actually had jackfruit in a can, and I was like, let me take a look at this.
Okay.
So I took a look at it, and what's going on? It's like a water to kind of keep it, preserved in there, but it's the
Uh-huh.
actual jackfruit, so it's kind of, a little tight, a little thin. But what I do is I
Yeah.
put it in the steamer with whatever rice or couscous that I'm doing with there, and I put it in the pot and it steams out. And once it's steamed, it kind of thins out, and you can actually spread it, and it actually looks
Okay.
like tenderloin. And then from there, it's really plain. So you'd have to, after that, just kind of put your own seasoning, whether you want to go with a barbecue rub sauce or kind of a chicken teriyaki sauce. But whatever it is, you kind of just dabble that in there. You mix it up, and for me, it's a great substitute. Like I said, I even picked out like an A1 steak sauce, just to kind of
Ha.
try it out, and
Okay.
one of my friends was over, and I was like, man, try this. And he's, steak and, this and that luxury steak. And I'm like, listen, man, totally, I'm not saying anything about it, but just try it out. He's like, I tasted it. He's like, it's not the same, but he's like, I taste like it tastes good. Like, okay, it's, it doesn't have, obviously not going to taste the same, but there are
Right.
different qualities. But just to have that kind of substitute, and kind of still get your nutrients that you're that you're looking for, is for me a great substitute that has worked out for me. And now the fact that I don't have to go butcher the whole fruit and pull it out and do all that kind of stuff, I can just go there and pick it up in the cans. I think it's great for me that to find that. So like I said, that's one that has been worked out for me. So yeah, it tastes just like chicken, as it,
Wow, everything tastes like chicken. Yeah, see, now I have never tried jackfruit that way. So that'll be something that I can try. And maybe one day we can bring one of our favorite fruits on and share with the listeners. Because, everybody's health looks different. And it's different for everyone. Some are, well, we already know the age group.
body, the mindset, um, and everybody has different goals to achieve. So we can help create a regime just for them. But I'm looking forward to doing more so that we can help people to get in alignment, help them to see what healthy choices looks like. And oh, you mentioned, I think you mentioned there was something else that you mentioned that you like. The pita chips is something that I like, and because I'm a cruncher, but because I'm always active, it's something that I like to snack on, and the hummus. Oh, hi, Martha. How are you? Glad you can come on. Let me know if you'd like to come on. We've got room for two more people. We're talking about healthy choices, and we're just sharing our favorite foods. So, what else can we say? We're on here trying to. This is our first Tuesday of coming up with topics, and then we're also going to be doing Thursday evenings. And Martin can tell them about it. All the different wonderful things we decided to start working on and talking to the audience about.
Yeah, no, I think in this topic we were just talking about today's topic we were just talking about lunch kind of ideas, and I had spoken about my kind of three already, and we were going back and forth. Now the fourth that I kind of had was to talk about kind of beverages, but also hydration. And one kind of people forget about is incorporating soups. I know soup is kind of something that they like to incorporate late night, and something that you like to go to eat before you go to sleep. At least I think it's something where you can get the kind of nutrients that you're looking for, but still light on your stomach and not give you that crash or that hunger craving that you need for after 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and such forth from there. So if you are thinking about, hey, I got to go to the gym after work, or hey, I've got that, I got a couple of things to do after work that I got to do, you'll still have, enough nutrients in your body to kind of keep you fuller for longer, but not, having your body kind of wear down and break down all that heavy food. So obviously a salad, soups are always recommended, as well, kind of, easy way to kind of get away from things and not so much have to nitpick. Grab a salad, grab some vegetables, grab a good variety of things from there. Soups, there's always a different mix that you can get, especially nowadays. I mean, I'm going down the soup aisles. There's so many different variations of soups for people to grab and go from there, and just to kind of incorporate, just, open up a can, heat it up, eat it, and not really have to kind of worry about so much diligence in terms of kitchenware, but just get you along the day, and then you're off to go for there. And then along with that is kind of, with water. I think water is very key at this time of the day. How much have you drank before? How much are you kind of shooting for going forward the next few hours? And then just really staying away from that cup of coffee, staying away from that energy drink, staying away from, juices and little stimulants to kind of help you get past, that hill of, noon, 1 o'clock. It's not worth it, because then you're coming down, and then your after hours matter so much, because that's when you're giving your body a rest, literally mind, body, and spiritual. You can just get away from everything, unplug, and you want to make sure that your body's at its best and not having a sugar crash or a food craving, and you're 3 or 4 o'clock, and it's 5 o'clock now. Do I eat dinner? Do I not eat dinner? Do I just save it for the next day? You're going another 12, 15 hours barely eating anything. Then you're going to go another 12, 15 hours not eating anything. It all starts, like I said, well, for me, the night before, but the morning, but also how you're kind of ending your lunch time as well, and how you're preparing for that last kind of run for the day. You know what I mean? For whatever the person's going for. So I highly recommend, water, of course, staying away
Yeah.
from those kind of energy drinks and such forth from there. And then, if they can also just stay away from, any cravings that they're going to get from those drinks, and just water, So your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so the good thing is, again, depending on if they're wanting to lose weight or maintain the weight, eating my late at night, I always suggest, depending on the person, to eat the heaviest food from 3 to 6, and like you say, from 7 to midnight, or it depends on what time they go to bed. Like for me, I'm up late, so sometimes my last snack will be at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
if I'm up till 2. But for those that go to bed or want to uh, tune in uh, uh, early, let's not forget the body digests the most between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning.
Hmm.
So, and a lot of people have water on the side of their bed and they like to sip. I usually just say it's okay to sip room temperature water. I know that you mentioned drink the water. I know a lot of people like ice cold water. Um, but ice cold water isn't good for our bodies.
Mm.
It's good to drink room temperature. Now, sometimes when you're hot, people in the summer, they want ice cold water, but to keep your intestines, moving, room temperature is best. And
Hmm.
then one day I heard you mention you drink spring water, only spring water.
Hmm.
Now, I do suggest people alternate, and that's because everybody's body chemistry is different. But most people will drink spring water, and that's all they drink. But in these times, unless you are one out in the field testing the waters, do we really know, if it's really spring water? Because we're into marketing, everybody's promoting something. So yeah, the thing is to balance.
Can you hear me now?